Only one episode remains in Will Trent Season 3, and it may very well feature the show's first major death. In the upcoming finale, the Will Trent main characters must face a threat first posed in Episode 17, Why Hello, Sheriff, and it's likely to be lethal. Over the course of the ABC police procedural series' 3 seasons, no significant characters, like those in the main cast, e.g., Angie, Ormwood, etc., have died. Of course, this isn't a bad thing, but it might mean that Will Trent is due for some tragic heartbreak that will forever change the show. In Will Trent Season 3, Episode 17, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the Atlanta Police Department joined forces to track down a bioterrorism group. It all started with a murder, which led them down a rabbit hole that could very easily result in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. The penultimate hour ended with Will and company discovering that the criminals in question had released a seemingly deadly contagion. Now, the Will Trent Season 3 characters must stop the spread of the virus and catch the people responsible. Unfortunately, they may not all make it out alive. 5. Michael Ormwood. Played by Jake McLaughlin. Perhaps the Will Trent character that fans have to worry about the most is Michael Ormwood. In Why Hello, Sheriff, Jake McLaughlin's character took Roy, an elderly, homeless veteran, who was very sick, to the hospital. Given that the hour began with someone giving the veteran a sandwich that undoubtedly contained the deadly virus, his likely patient zero, Ormwood made direct contact with the disease's first carrier, decreasing his chances of survival in the finale. Plus, at the end of Season 3, Episode 17, Ormwood was one of those locked inside the hospital when it initiated a code black outside the bioterrorism attack. Ormwood also has a brain tumor. He learned about it in Will Trent Season 3, Episode 14, and has been trying to take all the steps necessary to get it removed ever since. By the time the finale rolls around, though, Ormwood will still have the tumor inside his head. So, to summarize, Ormwood came into contact with a person infected with the disease, is trapped inside the hospital that is being quarantined to contain the virus, and has a brain tumor. It's not looking good for Ormwood. 4. Amanda Wagner. Played by Sonia Sohn. Even though Sonia Sohn's Amanda Wagner wasn't inside the hospital at the end of Will Trent Season 3, Episode 17, the finale's trailer teases that her life will be in danger during the upcoming episode. However, it certainly won't be the first time she's faced deadly threats. While the hospital works on containing the virus in the last episode, the GBI and APD work to track down the terrorists responsible for the biological attack. Unfortunately, the criminals seemingly find the agents before they can learn their whereabouts. The bioterrorist group storms into the GBI guns blazing, literally, in the Will Trent Season 3 finale trailer. They keep those on the floor hostage, including Amanda. The good news is that Will isn't there when the terrorists arrive, and Amanda calls him to inform him of the situation. She then instructs Will to find their lab and stop the attack. The video later shows the group's leader grabbing Amanda and pointing his gun at her head. In a different scene, Will says, "I'm not gonna just sit here and let them kill Amanda." So, fans should definitely be concerned about Amanda's fate in the finale. 3. Nico. Played by Cora Lou Tran. Ormwood wasn't the only character who got locked inside the hospital during Will Trent Season 3, Episode 17's final moments. Nico was there, as well. Nico was the one who found the sick veteran, aka Patient Zero. They helped Ormwood take Roy to the hospital, and it's clear that they formed a connection with the man as they wanted to stay with him. Sadly, Roy's chances of surviving are 0 to none. Meanwhile, Nico's odds are not that great either, since Roy likely transmitted the virus to them. Nico technically isn't a series regular in the Will Trent Season 3 cast. They have been around since the beginning and have significantly impacted the ABC police procedural series, though. Consequently, Nico dying in the Season 3 finale would make sense. TV writers typically kill off a character to raise the stakes in their show. If the minds behind Will Trent want to show the audience how serious the bioterrorism attack is without having to kill off any of the main characters, e.g., Will, Angie, Faith, Amanda, or Ormwood, they could look to a recurring character like Nico as an option. Hopefully, this isn't the case, but viewers should prepare for the worst when the Will Trent Season 3 finale comes around. 2. Dr. Seth MacDale. Played by Scott Foley. Another candidate potentially on death row in the Will Trent Season 3 finale is Angie's new love interest, Dr. Seth MacDale. Like Ormwood and Nico, Seth is trapped inside the hospital at the end of Season 3's penultimate hour. He was working when Ormwood and Nico brought Roy in and treated the veteran for his symptoms. So, Seth came into direct contact with Patient Zero, increasing the odds that he got infected with the lethal man-made disease. Seth changed into PPE by the time Why Hello, Sheriff came to a close. However, it might have been too late for the doctor. On the flip side, would the writers torture Angie even more by killing off her boyfriend, and father of her unborn baby? Angie's mother just died in Will Trent Season 3, Episode 15, and making her lose another person would be downright cruel. She also just learned that she was pregnant, right after she relapsed. For those reasons alone, one would think the writers wouldn't kill Seth, but given the show's track record, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Betty. Played by Bluebell. Betty in Will Trent Season 3. Betty is the final character that the audience should be concerned about heading into the Will Trent Season 3 finale, listening to a heartbeat. Nico was watching Betty in Episode 17, meaning Will's Chihuahua was among those inside the hospital when it went into lockdown. While it's unknown if the virus in question is transmissible to dogs, it very well could be. As a result, Betty would be one of those in danger in the upcoming episode. Although Betty is technically at risk since she's inside the hospital, it's quite improbable that the writers would kill off Betty. Firstly, she's adorable, and most viewers hate watching dogs die in TV shows, even more so than humans. The chances of the disease being transmissible to dogs are also low, and Nico will take good care of Betty. So, while the virus will undoubtedly infect one of the Will Trent Season 3 characters, most likely Ormwood, Nico, or Seth, Betty should be in the clear, but never say never.